coming to you with an urgent message. Every single one of our followers, our fans, I gotta let you know something.
Oh, man, it's happening too fast. Look, people don't want you to be notified of what we're doing here. They don't want you to be notified when we go live. And then now you get sad because you didn't realize we were live and you missed all that information that you should. Oh, God, they're after me. Look, all you gotta do is click the bell. Just click the bell, and you'll be notified every time we go live. I promise you. Look, hurry up. I ain't got a lot of time. Let's go.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week of Unfiltered. As you can see, it's only me right now. We got technical issues going on, but that's okay because we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep going forward. The fellas going to join in as soon as they can get their technical issues together. And you know, it's funny because usually it's me having the issues. Now they got the issues this week. So excuse my hair. It's hair week, okay? Wash week. For my natural ladies, you know what I'm saying. I'm just excited that we're able to continue every single week bringing you fire content, unfiltered. We are here for y'all. This is so that we can have the necessary conversations we need to have so that we can heal, we can grow, we can continue to move forward as a community. So I'm happy that everybody is tuning in. If you ain't tuned in, you need to tell somebody that we live right now and that they need to tune in. If you already in here, tell somebody else who ain't tuned in so that we can continue to have people coming and subscribing to Unfiltered. Make sure you always jump in them comments. We want to hear from you. This show is not just about us talking, just hearing ourselves talk. This is about all of us communicating. It's about us having those conversations. We want to hear from you. So we got some fire, 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 fire topics today. I know that last week topics were great, but today, this is your day. This is just for you. Because these topics that we're talking about today, they are going to help you. They're going to help you either confirm some things for you, like, hey, you know what? I've been feeling like this, and I know I need to make sure I stop just, feeling it, but I actually act upon it. I do something about it. Or if you ain't even thought about it, you're going to be like, you know what? I need to start thinking different. I need to change my mindset on this. I need to start looking at this in a different perspective. And then it's just a good conversation. If you already have thought about some of these things, if you have already made these commitments and have these habits and these mindsets, then it's just a healthy conversation to hear other people's perspective, hear other people's insight on what's going on. So we're not even going to hold you. We're going to jump right in. So here we go. First topic. Okay, we back. Everybody see me? Can you hear me good? If you can, hit those comments. Let me know you can hear me, you can see me. If we keep going in and out, stay tuned in. Tap back in because you don't want to miss today. I promise you. All right, so like I was saying, first topic, trust issues. So the topic is trust issues. Are we really ready to let go? This topic came about because I was having a conversation with somebody, and in the conversation I was having with them, they was just sharing how they've been in a lot of different relationships, and in every relationship they've had, they always came up that they had trust issues because the person they was with will always do something to kind of like betray their trust, and they were saying that this is why they have trust issues. And I was, just asking, okay, well, when was your last relationship or whatever? And the person was telling me that their last relationship was over 5 years ago, that they've been single for 5 years. They haven't had a relationship in 5 years. And I was just thinking like, wow, it's been 5 years since you've been in a relationship and you have trust issues still. But it's like, okay, are you dealing with the trust issues? Like, have you found like, what is the issue? What are the issues? Just compile all the issues or the things that's taking place up until that point with every relationship, and then start dealing with those issues. Because yes, it's a relationship, so it's based upon you and whoever you're in relationship with, you and that person. So it's like, even though it's you and that person, what's going on with you though? That was how I presented it to her. Like, well, I understand these people had these different issues going on, but have you worked out the issues that you have with yourself? Because a lot of the trust issues start with you. It's something that you have an expectation about that's not being met, or maybe you're not communicating it. Or if it is communicated, it's not being reciprocated, it's not getting received. So that's the question. How are you getting over these trust issues? What are you doing with them? How are you preparing yourself for the next relationship that you get into so that you can make sure that you can be proactive in making sure your expectations and your standards are set up front? They're communicated up front so that you can find the right person. You can make sure you're not having issues.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you, Mr. Johnson.
Dang!
I hear you. You in here. You in here.
Do you know how long I've been going through this whole time frame?
You in here. Let's talk to
Oh,
Mr. Johnson. He here.
my goodness! Y'all know the difficulty I've been going through today. How every video come up? How every advertisement come up, but I can't get myself up.
Well, I will say your volume is kind of low, even though I can hear you.
Dang, ain't this jacked up? Blibbity, 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 blib.
Oh my God.
Boo, boo, boo. 1, 2, 3, T, 5, 6, 5 T, 3, 4, 5, 8, 5, 9, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm happy you're here. Go ahead. Do your intro.
Oh my goodness. Thank y'all, everybody. Thank you, Fifi, for holding it down, getting us on. We definitely apologize. It was, oh my goodness. Mac is Mr. Reese is on in the route. I just got a message from him. But yeah, we do got some great topics. That's why it's a delay. The devil is a lie, in the words of Usher. The devil is a lie, because this has been horrible. I was like, man, what's going on? All this, my everything was not going on. Like, what is this? Everything else was working. All these Apple products. Apple, I'm mad. I don't know what's going on. Should have been better than this. Everything better. But we are here. Let's get on it. Let's talk about it. Of course, welcome to Unfiltered. You already know Miss Hills, who has been holding it down for us. Come on, this bad boy did her thing. Appreciate her so much. Love you. And it's your man, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Reese, en route. And we are about to get this started. I know that great first topic you just said.
Trust issues.
Trust issues. Who ain't got them? who ain't got
I
who ain't
know,
got a little
but it's
who ain't
like,
got
okay, how we working on them though?
a little bit of trust issues. You know what I mean?
How we working
Uh,
on them though?
I you know what it is. It's hard to work on trust issues
Yeah.
because it's like giving somebody. It's like trying to be like, hey, all right, this person did me wrong, or not even just people. I know it's always easy in relationships, say people. Most of the time I felt the trust issues was with me because I let myself down because I feel like the
Yes.
fool because I didn't, said, hey, I'm gonna do this, so yeah, it's weird. Do you think as for I know that with this question, from a man point of view, myself, um, it's hard because it's hard being vulnerable when you
Mm.
as a man, and I know it's for women too. It's
Yeah.
really hard being vulnerable for a guy because you just don't that's like taking down a wall, like showing that hey, I'm taking down this masculine wall for a moment, and I'm letting you into the deeper accesses and regions of my feelings. Like guy saying some deep secrets that maybe he ain't never told nobody, and he feel comfortable telling you. And that
Yeah.
vulnerable state, if you got a guy that really says that to you, guys don't normally don't give that up easy. So it's crazy because you get to that point where you might share that with somebody. I know for me, trust issues, say that to somebody that I really care about and trust, or trying to continue to develop trust for. That's probably better. Um, and then when they do it, it almost you like, yep, knew it. Should have never said nothing. Then you like,
Mm.
and then it make it harder for whoever next.
So it's
That's
like
why.
a defense. Like
Yep,
you
it's a
you
defense.
opening up with the trust, but it's that defense. Like the first little sign
Instant
of
close.
something.
Yep.
Oh,
It's the instant close. It's
let
like
me
you
go
press
back.
an alarm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, 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 nope. See, I told you. So I don't know. How you how for yourself. I know that's really for myself. I know I was talking about speaking for the man, but I mean for yourself. What's the biggest trust issues you got?
I would say, because that's the thing too. That was the next part of the question. Like, what defines a trust issue? But before we
Mm,
even get to that, for me, I would say mine is just loyalty. Like, I'm a patient person. I can put up. So let me use me and my husband as an example.
mhm,
Before me and my husband got married, of course we're getting married. This is the first time we ever got married, but we only plan to be married to each other, and that's it.
mhm.
However, it's like coming into it from my previous regular relationships before marriage, I was just like, listen, this is the deal breaker, or like the biggest issue that I have. Like, I'm a ride or die. So if you ain't a ride or die, if stuff get crazy and you just like, I'm out, we ain't even gonna get married because I can't. Mm-mm. That's my biggest trust issue, because it's like you need somebody who gonna not just be with you when it's up, but when they can be with you when it's down. And for me, that was the biggest issue. Like in my past relationships before I got married, it was just like, oh, I don't like this one thing, so I don't want to be in a relationship no more. And I'm just like, okay, I don't like a lot of things, but okay. So I don't know if that's considered, per people's standards, a trust issue, but for me, that's a trust issue.
I feel like that's the only trust issue really for me.
Yeah.
For me myself, like you said, and I know you said the second part of the question was, what do we define as a trust issue? Uh, man, uh, phew, what do I find as a trust issue? When I feel that, I think a trust issue for me was when someone is not reliable,
Mm,
or I can't find someone to be in by my own determination, not nobody else's, by my own
right, right, right.
determination. I see that someone's um, loyalty and honesty are what's the word I want to use? Are suspect for me. So when I
Mm,
see that your trust and your loyalty is suspect through your actions,
yeah.
that's a trust issue for me. I'm like, whoa, like, because I've always been one of the people that how you got people that say like, oh man, we cool, and I'm like, yeah, I don't dish out the word somebody cool until I see they actually cool, and
Hmm.
it takes some time. So a lot of people, some people will say that, man, you an outgoing person. I don't consider myself so much outgoing. I'm just, I can be, I feel comfortable in every environment that I'm in. I can adjust to the environment. But
I feel like you're when you're self-aware, you can adjust well.
yeah, you could adjust on. It's like you can
Yeah.
adjust on the fly. Like if
Yeah.
you put me in
Yeah.
there with some millionaires, they wouldn't know I wasn't a millionaire if I didn't tell them. You could put me in there with some people that don't think anything. I can adjust. I'm not worried about the climate or the audience I keep. You know what I mean? Miss Kathy, how's it going? It's
Hey,
like
Miss Kathy.
it's uh like you said, it's just it's really it's funny when it comes to when I see somebody. I don't like people that talk about everybody because
Mhm.
especially when people not there. That's a big thing with me. Is I see someone that talks about someone that's not there to defend themselves.
Yeah.
I know for a fact they talk about me when I'm not there.
Mm.
It's just factual. So that's to me, like you said, like that's suspect to me. Like that's suspect. I'm more into people where I got more respect for people to say, look, I don't know you. I know that the person that I am cool with had an issue with you. So for that reason, I choose not to do business or associate with you. I can
Mm.
absolutely respect that. And I've never had that happen. And I just put it like that. I agree with people. Loyalty is loyalty. You can't fake loyalty. You either are or you're not.
Yeah.
So for me, when you said that, I'm like, that's the biggest trust issue. For me, I'm
That's
like, that's
it.
the
And
only
we're
trust.
done.
That
Yeah.
is the trust issue. Like, you loyal? Because I'm gonna be loyal because I'm loyal to a fault. I'm like, look, I'm here for you. Now, when I find out you ain't loyal, I mean, you feel like
Yeah.
you feel like you in Antarctica because I'm cold after that. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
don't
see,
pretend.
that's the other part about my question. Like, well, based off what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
like everybody's again, it's all about perspective. Everybody's definition of loyalty is not the same. So, like what you're saying it. I feel like we on the same page and we agree. It's the same thing for both of us. Like we can be loyal to a fault. Like you out here crazy, and I'm still gonna love you. We gonna have a conversation about what you're doing and what I see and the stuff that's happening, and that's anybody and everybody. But I feel like some people with loyalty, they take it a little further. They feel like, okay, I'll say it like this. If you feel like you loyal to somebody, would you snitch them out? If they did something that ain't right, would you tell on them? Because that's the part where I hear so many people like, oh, they ain't really loyal because when some stuff happened, they was the first ones to say something when it comes to legal matters. Because I feel like that's how people associate loyalty. They associate loyalty with snitching. Like, if you don't say nothing and never tell if I do something that's illegal, then you loyal. But if you do, then no, you ain't loyal. So that's the spin off on the question.
Well, this how this how I answer that. If me and someone decide to rob me and a couple of people decide to rob a bank, and I'm the only one that gets caught, I got to take that time. I knew what the risks were, and it just got to be honest. You got to take that time because it ain't like nobody dimed you out. You just
Right.
the one who got caught, so you got to take that time. Now, with that being said, let me explain this
But
to
will
other
you
people.
tell that they were involved as well? That's
No,
the part
no, I
everybody wants.
wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would say I wouldn't. That'd be my object of loyalty. Like,
Oh.
I'm not gonna say, "Hey, it's some other people that was doing this too." You know what I mean? Because
You
you
ain't
know
seen
the
them and they
risk.
did it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you know the risk that came into it. You're like, "Hey, you be good. We'll hold your money to a certain time." Now we get out there and they didn't spit and squander my money. After all this time, it might be something else, but for the most part, I wouldn't do it. The only now this then it's the other part, my dear people. If you out here raping kids and stuff,
Oh no.
yeah, I'm sorry. You're not loyal
Mm-mm.
because I got kids. I'm not gonna do that. I'm going
You
to
going to
jail on you.
jail today.
You're
You
going
better
to
not
jail,
never
my
tell
friend.
me.
Let me find. If I find out you a child molester or a rapist, and you've been stealing and beating on, you know what I'm saying, innocent people, yeah, bro, I ain't gonna say nothing to you. I probably, man, I ain't had nothing to do with you. So I guess that it would, like, I guess that go into like people, flock together. But yeah, I see they point on that like, no, street loyalty. But I'm
Yeah.
like, some of y'all, that's the only time y'all ever loyal to anybody when it comes to when it's your, you can't be loyal to your benefit. That's probably the best way I can say it. Like some people, they only speak that loyalty stuff when it comes for something they need. But when they need it, they ain't loyal. I don't like people like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I guess what you could call that conditional loyalty. I don't like people with conditional loyalty. Like if I need you, that's when I want you to be loyal. But when I need you, you're like, I don't know if I could do that. I'm like, no, then you
Yeah. And see, that's why I said I think we agree, because that's how we view it. Like, what I do for you, you do for me.
Right. Absolutely.
I show up for you, you show up for me. Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. So yeah, I just think that I agree with you on that. So when they come to that loyalty, that aspect, I think that's what make trust issues, because trust issues only come from people. First of all, it only come from people that you had in a high standard. That means that one time they had your trust, one time they had all this great loyalty from you, and then one time they did something that was so detrimental, that damaged you so bad. Now you got trust issues.
Yeah.
Anybody else that come after that. So that's how I feel about that one.
Man. I mean, but see, that kind of ties into the other topic I wanted to bring up about disappointments.
Let's talk about it.
Are we like healing from disappointments and, understanding how the disappointments took place, or are we just lowering our expectations for people? Like,
ooh,
that's the thing that I've been thinking about a lot too, because I don't care who you are, what circle you in, how old you are, what career you got, how much money you got. At some point in life, you're going to be disappointed.
Absolutely.
You're going to get disappointed. But I've been seeing people in disappointments, their reaction or their response to it is very different. And that's what brought about this topic too, because again, in conversations that I've been having with people, they just, sharing that, their disappointments. And it ain't even, a lot of them wasn't even about just other people. It was about themselves. Like, I'm disappointed in myself because kind of what we talked about before in another episode about how I have this timeline, and by this point, I'm about to be 35. I should have done this, and this, and I feel like a failure because I haven't done this stuff. So they're feeling like disappointed. And then the expectation part comes in, because it's like, in that particular conversation I was having with a different person, they were saying that they just lowered their expectations. They just stopped expecting any and everything. And they just like, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm not going to expect a lot because I keep getting let down. I have this high level of what I think it's going to be or what I plan it to be, and it don't never be that. And I feel some kind of way. So eliminate them feelings of disappointment. I just don't have no expectation. So that's why I felt like that was a good question to put out there, because I know we've all been disappointed and we all have expectations, but are we, based on these disappointments, lowering our expectations?
I agree with you on that. So let's I know we got a couple of people out there right now that's actually live, that's watching this. Let's get some comments going on too, just to let y'all know. Just to hear from y'all. Y'all already know how I go. So continue to share and comment. You know we like that interaction.
Yes.
Good question. First of all, what are some of your disappointments out there? Come on, tell us. What's some of y'all disappointments? Shout out, I see Cairo on here. Or there we go. He said it's the timeline for me.
Yeah.
It's the timeline. I felt that, we brought that up in a episode prior to it where we were talking about that, because I think what happens, and it's good because I sat there thinking about it like, dang, have I lowered expectations to keep from being disappointed? That's a good one. Have I lowered expectations to keep from um have you lowered your expectations to keep from this what did it say? This from this, to keep from disappointing myself. Dang, that's really kind of deep. Have I done that? I think in some ways, yes,
Mhm.
some ways no. You know, it sucks. Disappointments suck to a point. I used to just think they just suck.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's about it. Uh, uh, I just think that poof, dang,
It is, it's one of them hitters because
dang, man.
I can say for me,
Mm,
I had to really sit with it for a while and be like, have I done that? Like, again, in the conversation I was having, I'm listening to what the person is saying, but I'm thinking about me at the same time. Like, am I reflecting that too? And for me, it was more of, it wasn't necessarily about other people disappointing me. It was about me disappointing
yep,
myself, like
that's
that
it.
person was saying.
That's my
That's
biggest
what I felt.
disappointment.
And then I sat with it because I'm like, why did I feel disappointed? And it
Appreciate
goes, like I mentioned, again, I was agreeing that timeline thing.
it. Hmm.
Other people's expectations that I took on for myself caused me to feel disappointment because I felt like I had to live up to their expectations. So this about to get deep for me because that goes into, all that I've been working on this year. Not being a people pleaser. That's something God has been working on with me to let go of and break off of and develop healthy habits, because being a people pleaser has let me down. Like, it is not good because I love people. I care about people. I want everybody to be happy. I'm very optimistic. I'm positive. I'm high energy. I'm on one all the time. I'm on 10 all the time. And I just want everybody else to have that same thing. So whenever somebody got something going on, yeah, you need help? Sure, I'll help you. But then it turns into me always helping other people and I'm not helping myself when I'm ready to do certain things. And then when I want them to help me now, because I done helped you, help me, they don't have time. So I think in general, that kind of made me feel like I'm disappointed in myself because I took on these expectations of other people instead of just setting my own expectations and sticking to my own expectations and working through my own stuff,
You
which
know,
in turn made me become a people pleaser. And then it's like, okay, now I got a whole lot of stuff I got to work through because of that one choice and decision. So for me, I think I didn't lower my expectations because I was disappointed. I just changed whose expectations I was living to, if that makes sense
yeah, it makes
for
sense
me.
to me. I think that it's crazy because we do this, and as I'm talking, I'm putting everybody's answers and things on there too. So everybody keep it coming. You know, keep it on there. So make sure you got some good spelling. I'm just messing with you. I don't care about that. Right
Or
here,
just
like
put SP if you don't know how
or
to
SP,
spell
like I
stuff.
don't know, say something. It's just like, hey, I'm human. Like right here, Nafisa said, expecting to be at a certain point in my life by a certain time frame and feeling disappointed if it doesn't happen in that time frame. Um, yeah, I would say,
Hmm.
I learned to stop doing that, hopefully to stop doing it, because then I feel like I put a limit on myself. I feel like I put a limitation to say, hey, if it ain't done by this time frame, it don't get done. And you gotta be careful what you speak out to yourself. Uh,
Yeah.
and I did realize that for a long. I remember I had put a time frame. I'm like, man, look, by 27, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Like I'm gonna do it. All these things is gonna happen. I'm going to have all the, this is what's gonna happen. Um, and it was just stupendous because 27 is if I'm doing my math correctly, it's like 13 years ago now. So I had to really watch and be careful about the things I said. Um, in terms of limiting, you got to be careful because you speak life into your situations. And some people are like, well, I've been speaking, I'm going to do it. 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 I'm going to do it.
Hmm.
But guess what? Keep doing it. Keep speaking it. I mean,
Yeah.
duh. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep speaking it to the situation. But like you said, most of your disappointments come from you disappointing yourself because you may have felt that you failed at a certain time frame. And not to mention when you start looking at people on Facebook and you comparing, you're
Hmm.
comparing yourself. This is why I said social media is, if when used the right way, it's awesome.
Yep.
It's an awesome way. We think about it. You get in contact and touch base with people from halfway across the world.
Yeah.
Like here, like we like you said, in the humility of us on our show, we realized how many other countries are watching our show. No matter how many viewers it was, we saw that it is being watched in these other countries. So that's a
Hmm.
powerful medium when you do it the right way. And just think of people who have quadruple the followers as us. That's a
They reaching
incredible effect.
all
You
the
know what I
universes.
mean? Yeah, I mean, that's incredible effect. I think The Rock, I remember we had the list of the top Twitter followers of twice Instagram. I've never been into Twitter. I've never done it. I thought it was just crazy. I never understood the concept of it. Retweet somebody's stuff. I'm like, it's too much. But I see that when you look at these mediums, you see so much effect that it has on everybody.
Hmm.
Most of the time it's very negative. It's a very negative effect because everybody is portraying to a certain extent an image that they want people to see. That's all it is. It's about
Hmm.
image because people will see it. So we got to stop comparing lives. You can be happy for people. I mean, it's awesome. Like, but the problem is that it seems that the things that you're not accomplishing, it seems like when you put it on watch social media, you see everybody else accomplishing it. So like somebody be like, oh my goodness, like I don't know what happened. Is that I think your sound on mute.
No, it's okay. Sorry.
Oh,
It was a lot of background noise. I was trying to silence it.
oh
Go
okay. I
ahead.
didn't know what you thought. I thought you was praying. Uh I didn't know what was going on.
No,
But
I'm gonna take it off mute to pray.
like, oh, I was like, okay, but like you said, it's dang, I lost what I was about to
You
say.
you were saying how everybody keeps comparing
Oh
themselves
yeah, I'm
every single
sorry.
day
So
to
like
what they
if you're
see.
looking for a house and you've been unsuccessful looking for a house, all of a sudden you look on social media, you see everybody getting houses. Like, oh man, I got a house, I got a house, I got a house, I got a house, I got a house. So instead of maybe you could use this for maybe some type of encouragement. It don't feel like encouragement for you. It feels like a reminder that you have disappointed yourself by not meeting the time frame in which you wanted to do it. And I can understand that. Now, is the choice of telling people don't share their news with people? Me myself, I don't share everything, but this is where we live at now. If you're on social media, you're gonna have to be accustomed to it. You should really understand growing thin, tough skin because this is what people do. They want people to celebrate with them, their successes, but they want little to know about their downfalls, their trials, and their errors and things of that nature. That's where I just think that's false advertising. So that's why I say kind of I'm old school in terms of, well, no, I hate that word old school. I am a lot more mature in the fact that less is more. That
Hmm.
the less I tell you, the more effective I can be.
Hmm.
Um, so like you said, and I see I'm putting this up here too. The visa said where she had to question lowering expectations, but like Phoebe said, it's just the disappointment for me has always come from Randy, um, not meeting his expectations. or time frames or the timeline. By here, I want to have this. By here, I want to have this. By here, I want to be here. I want to have this. I want to do this. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have some accomplished? Absolutely. And I'm grateful to God for it. But I noticed those were realistic. Some of the other time frames I had were not realistic because I
Yeah.
didn't really realize that the work and sacrifice that comes to get that. It takes time. So that's what I would agree with you on that. Now, lowering my expectations, yes. And I would say lowering, I would say not being super duper enthusiastic because I don't want to get crushed or be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
I have done that. I don't want to say lower the expectation. I don't know if that's the right word to say it now.
Kind of like soften the blow, like,
Yeah, I
it ain't
want
gonna
to
hurt that
soften the
hard.
blow. Like if it happened, okay.
Yeah.
If it don't, I'm like, okay. So you kind of do that. Like I see right here with you, Lafisa, you said, yes, I've absolutely lowered my expectations to avoid disappointment. Not a good idea. Never dim your light because you shine too bright to get lost and swallowed up by the shade of others. Absolutely. I think that a lot of that, like I said, my expectations, like Phoebe said, I don't, I never did it because of other people. I did it because of myself. The person
Mm-hmm.
I disappointed most was Randy. I felt like that. I'm like, okay, Randy, let me not do that because if it don't meet my expectation, I'm going to be disappointed. Well, other people are like, oh, that's good. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. That's not exactly what I wanted. This is how it was supposed to be. This is how it was supposed to look and everything of that nature. So I remember, um, I had to sometimes you have to backtrack back to train up and look at where you was at for a minute. Like, hold on,
Mm-hmm.
back
So
up and see
like
where
going
you was
back to
at
the
for a minute.
basics.
Like, hold on now. Like I had to understand, like I remember like, man, like God, this is my idea for this house. And God, like, what are you talking about? You got a 2,800 foot house. Your first house was, what are you talking about? It's almost like God bring back to your memories, like, what are you talking about? You did have this. It was, it's okay. Now it's the next step. Now it's got to be the next step. You had that, and you got to keep it moving. It's like we tend to forget where we were. What happened.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. God had a car. God like you had 3 cars. What are you talking about? You had ways to get you was taken care of. You had to bring back to my memories like Mr. Like dear Randy, my dear son, did I not take care of all 5 members, including yourself? In
Mm-hmm.
that house? Like, didn't I do that? And weren't you the only one working? Weren't you the only one? Like I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, like did you have a homeless night? Like, no, I didn't have a homeless night. Expectations, I got mad because I had a Explorer and an F-150, and at that time frame, I thought I was gonna have a Corvette. So I was a failure because I didn't have a Corvette. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm being honest with people.
Yeah.
I was 27. I had done the things I wanted to do with college and jobs and everything else of that nature. And I got that said when I got married, Now I'm gonna be honest with you. My goal was never to get married. Nah, I'm gonna be honest with people. I marriage was the last thing on my mind coming out. I thought something totally different. I wanted kids, but I didn't want to be married. And I know that sounds stupid, but it's just the truth. That was my mindset when I was younger. But when I did get married, my thing was I wasn't going to get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if I'm here, I'm getting divorced. And little did I know, you know, I'm the one up there filing for divorce. And it took a lot to get there because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm gonna try to work it. But then the disappointment now, and I've said this on the show many times, but disappointment was not at first. You always think about the other person, but my disappointment was with me
Yeah.
because I was like, you know what, I don't, this is just, oh man, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I chose the wrong person and all this other good stuff and all these other things. I'm like, have to, like you say, you have to backtrack and be like, hey, back to train up. Like, hold on now, that person ain't that bad because you got a beautiful daughter out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The person ain't that bad because you picked her. The person ain't that bad because you did continue to move forward. So it wasn't this. It's just that at this time frame, this person and you are not meant to be together anymore. Y'all really wasn't supposed to be together in the first place. Y'all wanted, y'all kind of forced it a little bit.
Mm.
You know, I would say, we dated for a while. We dated for like 3 years before I decided, I'm like, we're getting married.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't matter because if it's a good idea, it's a good idea. If it's a good thing, it's a good thing. And sometimes when people do some things and you don't meet your expectation, I didn't lower expectation. It's just that some things just happen. I think in life we just have to get to the point where we have to understand that maybe the expectations we have placed on people and ourselves are maybe too low. It may seem that
Mm-hmm.
it might be too low. And
Yeah.
God, like, I got something 10 times better. It's not saying that the
Yeah.
person right there you with is no good or the ambitious goal you have is no good. I'm just telling you, go higher because I got
Mm-hmm.
something higher for you. You just don't know. I'm getting you ready. So that's how I feel about that. When it comes to expectations and disappointments now, I believe it's all personal because I could get over the disappointment of someone that disappointed me a lot faster than I can get over me disappointing myself.
Mm.
That's how I feel for myself.
That's good.
Mhm.
I think that's good because the whole point of us having these conversations and presenting certain topics, and you know how I be coming. I be coming with them ones you gotta sit with and think for a
Right.
minute.
Think.
Because it's like that's important to think about. That's important to acknowledge about yourself. And again, we're very similar where we understand ourselves. We understand if I mess up or if I do something that I thought I was doing right or I ain't put a lot of thought into, okay, I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to face it. And from the conversations I had, which brung about these topics, it just seemed like the people weren't dealing with it or acknowledging it. Like they was talking about it. We was having conversations about it. They were saying stuff about it, but it just didn't seem like, you know how something hits you and then it's just like, it's a whole shift after that.
Right.
They just didn't have that. They just had I just want to keep talking about this same thing. I see what happened. Did I tell you that happened? Oh, okay. Remember when I told you that happened? Like that's it was just like a cycle of that. Like you telling me all this stuff and you saying it, but are you hearing what you're saying? Are you understanding what you're saying? Are you processing and dealing with what you're saying so that you ain't got to keep saying it? That's the thing for me. Like
Absolutely.
I was just like, wow. It
But you know
it,
what
it
that is,
made it was like
cuz?
a mirror. Like, do you want this to be you? You better deal with this stuff you need to deal with, girl. You better check it. And that's where I'm at. It's just like I'm
I
using
think
these
that's where we
different.
all at. I know a lot of us is there because I agree with you on that. As you just talking, it's funny because like you just said, I had them same kind of conversations today with people. Like, did I remember I told you this? Remember I did this? I'm like, and I just had to like set back, like, man. But it go back to that big word we've been saying over and over. One of our big words. We're gonna come out with unfiltered keywords for the entire season. And one of those words was accountability.
Yes,
We
yes,
do not want to take accountability for a lot of stuff. Um, Definitely guilty of it. Not want to take accountability for a lot of things. I'm definitely guilty of it. So I think one of the biggest things that we have to do is just we have to admit, um, even in scripture it says, agree with your adversary quickly. Agree with the adversary quickly.
mm,
Bye-bye. Okay, yeah. Don't even ponder on it anymore. We have to be like, okay, yep, I do that. I did that. This ain't
that's
nobody
me.
else's
Yeah,
fault. Like this,
yeah.
yeah, that's me.
It's that
That was me.
confession. We don't want to confess.
Yeah, like
We don't want to. We don't want to do that.
not an admission of guilt. And I'm like, look, this ain't so much about being guilty. It's just about being, what I'm saying, responsible enough to admit that, yeah, the reason and the position that you may be in, a big percentage of it is because of some of your own bad decision making. And
Yeah.
that's that's it. We
And you
gotta
ain't a terrible. See, that's the thing too. I think that's always associated with just trash. Like, oh, if I made a mistake, then I'm trash. If I messed up, I'm trash. If I keep making the same mistake, I'm trash. And it's just negative, and you just sit in that. And it's
Negative,
like,
absolutely.
that's a positive, because now you see where the problem is at. It's like if you got a leak in the sink, okay, you find where the leak is at so you can fix it, and now it's not leaking anymore.
Yeah, not saying I don't know about no leak, and it's obvious that it's a leak.
You see,
You
and you
know,
hear it.
it's like the Titanic. It's like being on the Titanic, and they're like, man, look, I think it's a hole in the boat. Why? Because it's water up to my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, they don't worry about it. Like, no, now this water's up to my neck. It's definitely a leak in this bad boy. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think I'm going up to the next level. This boat sinking. And it just for people just to understand that sometimes, whoo, you gotta abandon ship on some of your ideas. Thank God for lifeboats. Like God, like, look, that idea you had was really
Save me,
bad.
because that was not it. Yeah.
Yeah, like this idea you had was bad, my friend. So yeah, it's time for you to jump on this lifeboat and get out of here. This ship is done. It's sinking. Now you can stay on here, bad boy, and pretend like you ain't aware of it, but man, you better get off. Like you just said, it's just like you got to do something about it. There's nothing wrong with saying, okay, this was not a good point for me. I need to stop now before I keep digging myself deeper and just accept the accountability that I made a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
People in business do it every day. They say, okay, bad decision. Let's scrap it. We start all over. Some people are like, we too far in. Well, you know what? So what we going to do? Keep going and get farther and farther in? No, we got to stop right here.
And
Count
have
our losses.
further to pull out, dig out. Yeah.
Pull out and get out and be done with it and move on from it. So, like, like you saying, Fee, it's just with these disappointments, we got to learn how to get over them, for the most part. We have to learn how to get over them, learn how to deal with them, learn how to set good expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Stop stop trying to climb Mount Everest and you got a problem climbing the little hill down the street from you. It ain't gonna work. We got to learn how to take things in steps and at time. I heard before we even get off the subject, I heard a statement by his name is Dame Dash. Just in case a lot of people don't know, Dame Dash was one of the founders of Rockefeller, and a lot of people don't like him because of how he delivers his information to people, and it comes across real tough and real hard.
He a little aggressive.
Yeah,
He a
he's
little
very.
rough.
Oh, you already know he's really, really aggressive. But I tell people, like sometimes, it's just like with a lot of religious things when people have, like when they say who they believe in and things of that nature. Um, they be like, well, some people like you might say somebody that's Muslim says that Muhammad is the prophet. That's how the message got here. That's how we found out the message. Christianity say, God came down in form of man and Jesus, and he was the prophet, and that's the message. You might even go with Buddhism and Taoism. They have a different messenger and all and everything they do in every aspect. And I sit back and say all the time to them, I say, do y'all personally, I don't care who brought the message. Did any of y'all hear it? What was
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
Did
The
you hear?
content.
Did you hear it?
Man.
Because they're saying the exact same thing. And I one day I'm gonna put all this proof of that they say. I'm like, all y'all gotta do is read it. They saying the exact same thing. I've been over it so many times. Not
Yeah.
just coming from seminary. Just I feel like, man, everybody is saying the same thing. So that just lets you know that somewhere the translation got lost
Mm-hmm.
because of men, not God. Not that didn't get lost. Men did it for their own benefit.
Yeah.
If they're saying, do unto others as you would have done to yourself. That's every religious text to say it. And that love is the key.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the same way with even in science. Science says the same thing. Science says for every action, there's a equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah.
It's, my dear people, it's saying the same exact thing. We're fussing over the packaging,
the delivery.
and the delivery.
Yep.
So in him, he was saying, like like I said, I know I got a little off. I don't know what brought me that there, but that is good. But he was just saying that um when it comes to you're not going to ever be able to succeed in life if you're terrified of failing.
Mm,
He said, if you're terrified of falling, you're
wow.
never going to succeed. And I love that to his point, because he was trying to tell who's interviewing him, but DJ Envy. There we go. DJ Envy was interviewing him, and he said, I don't understand. You said you love music, you love DJing,
Mm-hmm.
and you working for someone else. All I'm telling you is, why don't you just start your own radio station?
Wow.
Start your own come, so that way now your son, your people, and everybody, your offspring, can come there at any time they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand how you're satisfied with having a boss. And Charlemagne said, man, it takes time. He said, no. He's like, because I'm doing it now. And I understand that more and more now. What he's saying is that he's putting it to work.
Yep.
Work. He said, not only do I have faith, but I'm going to work in it. And if it fails, I'm fine, because I'm going to learn more from failing than I ever do from winning, because I'm going to learn what not to do anymore.
Yep.
From failing.
Yep. Yep.
So I love that. And I think that's where we are. Disappointments are part of this great process that we have. It's a part of it. So we have to understand that in our disappointments, we got to learn from it. In those failed expectations, we got to learn from them. Learn what not to do again.
Yes. And I want to add to that something that God gave me, when praying and talking about feeling like a failure at that point when I was going through that. God shared with me and gave me the revelation that failure, the way we define failure is inaccurate. We define failure as a negative thing. And God has shared with me, for myself, the revelation is that failure only means refocus. When you fail, that means, okay, you need to refocus. You was focused on this thing this way, like this. Now you need to refocus. You still have the same situation, same thing, but you need to look at it different.
Right.
And if we do that, like what you just said, with learning the lesson and everything, that's all a part of it. We're going to be good. We're going to make it. We're going to be successful. We're going to have a life in the future that we love and feel like is what we want. If we keep learning the lesson and we keep refocusing, it's the same energy. You just got to put it in a different way.
There you go. I like that. I absolutely like that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
but it's the truth. It's
Yeah.
the truth. Because failure, people are so we are so, when we get to fail, and I'm speaking on myself, so I'm speaking to Randy Johnson right now.
Mhm.
When we get some things, we fail in it. We envy and sit here and we envy people. We'll envy a Zuckerberg. Everybody like, why can't I do what he did? Do y'all see? Y'all do realize what he went through to get that in this
They
short
don't
period
know.
of
That's
time?
why they feel like they a failure, because they don't know how many times he
That
failed
man,
before that
this
happened.
man failed a lot.
Yeah.
Not only that, I mean, he had time frames where that money he was having and things of that nature and stuff. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know one thing: you don't get when you're in the word terms of self-made. You got to go through some things. We're not talking about I inherited this. We talking about
Mhm.
self-made, which means you had to take all the bumps and bruises.
Yep.
Bill Gates, these guys was starting out their garage. They got turned down by
IBM.
IBM,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
They could have said, man, we're done. This is a failure. We're not going to do it anymore. But they refocused, as Phoebe said, they
Yeah.
refocused. Like, instead of building this chip for you,
We're gonna use it
we'll
for
do it
ourselves.
for us.
Yes. Same energy. Same
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 energy.
goal.
They
Just
put it somewhere
refocus.
else. And
Yeah.
that is what Dame Dash was talking about.
Yep.
He said, you could have gave, now, some failures you need to be happy for. And I know they're happy for that failure because IBM would have had their chip and it would have been nowhere near as rich as they are right now.
Oh, absolutely not. They would have had to share that. Now
Yeah,
they got it all 100%. Yeah.
And think about this. I want y'all to think about this too. I want to find out his name. I don't know. I'm going to look it up while we're here. But it was a man who actually started an underwear shop. And what happened is because he was embarrassed to go in there, he felt a certain type of way of going in there shopping for get his wife things. So he came up with a shop. It's called Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
He created it, did pretty well. He ended up selling it to a big company, and then they made millions. After that, he ended up killing himself. Short time after that, he ended up killing himself by jumping off a bridge. I'm telling you this because this is why you got to remain focused. See, he would have never known no better because that was the pinnacle for him. He thought he was winning. He's like, okay, that's it. That was it for me.
That was the best win. I made money off this. I made something and gave. So they asked me for it and I sold it and got money for it. And that was great. Yeah.
They got it. They saw something tremendously different.
Yeah. Perspective.
And they made it into a multi-million-dollar industry. Everybody knew what Victoria's Secret was. Nobody know that it was named after this man's wife, Victoria's Secret.
Wow.
And when he saw that happen, he ended up killing himself because of the disappointment he had because he had low expectations.
Wow.
So everyone, just remember, refocus.
Refocus, please.
Yep, refocus and be all right. So we got this. I know I want this. We got enough topics. Y'all don't understand how many topics we got.
I told you we ain't gotta do all of them.
I love it. We got enough to cover the rest of this month, the rest of the month for Ladies Month. And I'm just gonna keep it in there for this one. And I like this one because I think it rolls into it. It's purpose.
Yep.
I think this rolls right into it. And like I said to our ladies again, I definitely ain't forgot about y'all. It's still Incredible Women's Month. Shout out to all of our beautiful ladies out there, all my wonderful, smart, intelligent ladies. This is all for you. As we just said this with purpose, it says, how do you know when you found it?
Yeah.
It's really, that's a $1 million question for a lot of people.
Yeah.
People are always searching to find out, what am I here for? Not even if they're, religious, they're searching what they would be here. I noticed that it's a certain group of people though that really, really are struggling to find this in this day and age. And it's women. It's women. Yeah. Women, because for so long throughout history, they taught that, man, your purpose was to be here is to take care of family. Make sure everything was taken care of. And in the process, lose your identity. We've said this over and over again.
Yeah.
But what I'm loving now is the drive I see in so many women.
Yes.
That they're like, I'm going out here. I'm going to find out what I got to do.
Yeah.
What I've been put here to do. What is so incredible for me out here to do. So, to the ladies and everybody, I know that it's going to be, because it's always this way, more people that watch it after we post this bad boy. So I want to put this question out to you individuals who are watching now and those who are going to be watching it when it's post free and you get your time frame and you can watch it the way you want to. And we're grateful for y'all, so don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But your purpose. How do you know when you find it? What are some key elements, feelings, and things that you feel like you'll feel when you find where you at? Now, I'm gonna say this because I remember I used to go to True Love Christian. Am I saying that right? True Love Christian.
True Love Christian Ministries.
True Love Christian Ministries. Right. And at the time frame, I don't want to say this because I want to get people upset, but at the time frame, the first lady there, Miss Carolyn Anderson, she said something I remember. And we were talking in private with me, her, and her daughter. And she said something that was really, really, really good. and it stuck with me my whole entire life. I'm gonna
Wow.
be honest with you. She says you got to grow where you are planted. It's a reason that palm trees only grow in certain parts of the world. It's a reason why giant redwoods only grow in Southern California and in neighborhoods of California. There's a reason why cactus only grow in the desert. It's a reason why evergreens are where they're cold. So when it comes to purpose, I think a lot of people got to understand your purpose is extremely tied into where the fruit that you have and you're bearing
Yeah. Oh, say that. Oh,
is that's where it's at. Some people don't get it. You
oh,
already flowing, you flowing where you at, but
preaching, you
you
preaching.
you some people you crazy, but some people just don't understand. Like we miss it because we tend to want to be carbon copies,
Oh,
but what we actually are excellent at, will we flow in naturally?
we don't want to do it.
We don't want to do it, but you flow in it so well. You have people out here that have such an incredible gift of I've never seen. They can teach anything.
Mm-hmm.
They just got the skill. They know how to talk to people. They know how to explain things. That's a gift,
Yeah.
people. That's a gift. It's a gift to be able to explain and for everyone around you to understand it.
Yeah.
Even the children to the old people. That's a gift. You have some people that have been gifted with an ability to speak through instruments, to speak through dance, to speak through all these things that don't require speaking or moving your lips.
Mm-hmm.
That is an incredible gift. They can tell stories
Yes.
with their gifts.
Yeah.
Someone playing a flute, violin, drums, a horn can have such an effect on your soul that when you hear it, it'll make you be joyous. It can even bring tears to your eyes. You
Mm-hmm.
can see people that dance, and when they dance, it does something to you. You can see people act,
Yep.
and it does something that puts you right in the space of where they're trying to do for you. That's why if anybody's ever been to a play, I remember I went to an Italian opera.
Mm.
I don't speak Italian.
But you knew what was going
But I
on,
knew
I'm sure.
exactly what was going on.
Yep.
I knew from what he was saying as he was pouring his heart out to her, and she was pouring. I'm like, that's incredible. That's a gift. The problem is some people, you pigeonhole yourself and you downcast the gift that only you can do. And we got to stop doing that. So how you know it's your purpose? Because you flow in it. That's
Yeah.
the first one. You flow in it. It's not forced. It don't take and require you to have all this massive amount of motivation to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You flow in it. It's natural. It's like you like womb. It's like you are like a stream. No matter if it's rocks in the way, you find a way to get around the rocks. You flow.
Yes.
It's
That's
smooth.
good. That's
That's
good.
purpose. You know this your purpose because you flow in it. Nobody could quite do it like you. Somebody like, people do it like me. Nah, stop that. No one does it like you. I don't care how many people been on this earth and it's going to come after.
Yeah.
You've been put here for a purpose that no one else can do.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
what's for you is for you.
well for you. There we
And
go.
see, I think that's where the envy and the jealousy and all that stuff come in, or the timidity where people get timid because they feel like, oh, they know somebody else who already do what I do, so what's the point of me doing it? Or they do it better. What you're bringing is different. So I'll use me as an example. That's why I love this topic, because for me, I know my purpose is to it's a multi-layered thing, but number one, to share love. I love people and I love amazingly well because that's my gift. I just love people. I just know how to look past the rough and stuff, the fluff and stuff, the ugly stuff. I could just love people. but God helps me to love people by dancing. I'm a dancer. And when I dance, it doesn't matter the style, ballet, tap, modern, jazz, hip hop, African, praise dance. It doesn't matter the style. It doesn't matter. I can share my love through that. But I also understand that there is 1,000 different dancers out here that do the same thing I do. And as a dancer, the way God had to help me was to understand, don't stop dancing because there's a billion dancers out here. They can't dance like you. You can only do what you do. Y'all all can do the same choreography, but what you do, the way you present it and communicate it and approach it is different. We can all have the same instructions. Okay, choreograph 8 counts of clapping hands, and it could be 5 different people choreographing clapping hands for 8 counts. And the 8 counts gonna be different. Somebody may clap slow for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Somebody may be doing a double up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? It's different because we're all different. And my whole point is, for me, once I understood that and got past that, I was able to do so much more. Like, I was able to keep going. And that's how I knew dance was my passion and it was my purpose, because it would not go away. When I didn't do it, I felt like I was literally dying, and I just was like, I have to dance. It ain't just for, entertainment for other people. It's for me. It's life for me. It helps me. And there's so many capacities that I can do it in. Instead of just performing as a dancer, I can teach dance. I love teaching and seeing people learn and discover themselves in dance, gain new confidence they didn't have. All of that. It's amazing. But the point is, it's like, we got to stop looking at other people and what they doing and understand this is a collaborative. We all make it great. I ain't got to tear this dancer down because I feel like they dance better than me. The people that like me and that's going to be my fans or whatever, they can like them too. They going to be for me. The people that's for them going to be for them. But I ain't got to tear you down so I can try to get more followers and more likes than you. Nah. It's enough people in the world. It's billions of people in the world. It's enough for all of us to be seen if we're trying to be seen. That's the thing I'm saying. So whatever your purpose is, even if somebody else do it, it doesn't stop you from doing it.
I think the problem is a lot of times when we discuss purpose, is that most people want to be seen. Less people want to be effective. See,
yeah,
it's a big difference.
Yeah, because that's me. I don't need no spotlight.
This is the difference. And I'm putting this on there. What up, cuz? What up, though, cuz?
Hello.
When it's your passion that you love, it will, like you said, it will come. It's natural.
Yes, that love will.
I got even better word. It's organic. It's organic.
Yeah.
It means it comes.
It's a part of you. Your DNA.
It's you.
Yeah.
Everything you do, it is not work. It's not work for you. You could go and you could just do it, and there's just no flow. You don't have to do it. Now, what happens? Like, let me get it twisted. You practice your craft.
Absolutely.
You practice your craft. I want people to. I want them to think about it. This what separates greats from what could have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because even though you got a God-given talent, you still got to harness your craft. So again, what we say, first thing we say with the purpose is that, you're going to flow in it. That's how you can recognize your purpose. You flow in it. Second, you harness your craft.
Mm-hmm. You cultivate
How you know that's your purpose? Because if you're busy harnessing your craft, it never feels like work. It don't feel like work to harness your craft. You take pleasure in working it, figuring out how it can be better.
Yeah.
It's not. See, I'm gonna tell you this, and a lot of people don't like this. People that are good at a certain thing love the hard parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
They love the hard parts of it.
The challenge.
They love the practice. It's intense for them.
Yeah.
They own themselves. They be practicing like, oh my goodness. Like, no, run it back again.
Yeah.
That's why singers, dancers, people that do, you know what I'm saying, oratorical individuals. People will put in the work, and I'm telling you, I'll give y'all a good example. I'm gonna tell you something. I remember they was talking about, if you ever watched MC Hammer, this is gonna be a bad example, but
Mhm.
MC Hammer said, I remember being in the studio with Tupac. He said Tupac would be in the studio for over 12 hours.
Mm.
It'd just be him working off, critiquing, and doing everything else because he wanted to perfect his craft. Where it might have sounded good to everybody else, it still wasn't there for him.
Mhm.
See, nobody could tell you, you know what I'm saying, what it sound like to you when it's right.
Mhm.
Only you know. You're like, man, that's right. That's it right there. And the problem is, again, people don't want to harness their craft. There are people that can play ball better than Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant, but they won't ever make it to the NBA. They won't ever get on their level because they lack the patience to harness their craft.
Wow. That's so sad.
It's somebody right now playing Detroit, playing in Yonkers, playing down south, playing out in Cali, playing in other foreign countries that have more talent than those individuals, but
Yeah.
they don't have the patience within themselves. How can you not be patient for you? That's a very, very question. That's a tough question for people to get,
Yeah.
because they're
That's
like,
an
man, it's my
important
purpose.
question.
I'm good in it. You can't tell me what to do with this, but you can be good at it. You can have you can be blessed with some things. There's people that have been blessed with things all the time. And you know what happened? They never, ever put the time in to harness it and to get better and let it grow and let it manifest. And you know what happens with that talent? It goes right out this world with them. It's like I tell everybody all the time. It's one place where there's more talent, there's more woulda, couldas, and shouldas, and
Mhm.
greatness never realized. It's a place where there's more of that than any other place in the world. It ain't in schools. It ain't in Fortune 500 companies. It's not in record companies. It's not on YouTube. It's not on social media. It's called graveyards, because people in graveyards lie some of the most incredible amount of
Amazing gift.
talent
Yeah.
that will never, ever be experienced by this world. So, and that being said, what's the third thing, right? What's the third thing? All we can say, our purpose. What we can say about our purpose. How do you know when you found your purpose?
Mhm.
So we already established you flow in it, right? So we know you flow. You flow in it. It comes natural. It comes organic. You breathe it out. You
You
breathe it
like
out.
it.
You breathe it
Yeah.
in. You eat, sleep, and dream. It's just there.
You think about it. You dream
It's all
about
the
it.
time. You,
You
you,
see it, and it
yep.
sparks something in you.
It
Yeah.
gives something incredible. It gives you a feeling like you ain't never had before.
You be excited. You're
Yep.
happy about it. Yeah.
And what's the third? And well, I'm sorry, we just skipped over it. And the second thing we said is harnessing your craft.
Yep.
That means practicing. That means elevating yourself in your craft. Continue to
Cultivating
get
it,
better and better.
developing it. Mhm.
Cultivate. Continue to water your seed. Continue to keep it going and flowing. How else do you know when your purpose and when you found it? And it's a third one. And it's not going to be popular with some people.
The hardest part.
I had to tell you, it's not going to be. It's not going to be popular with some people. And what it is that you can't tell everybody about it.
Mhm. The
You
hardest part.
cannot share your purpose with everybody, but everybody will see it. It's a difference.
That's good.
You can't tell everybody. Why you can't tell everybody what people say? Why you can't tell everybody?
I'm so excited. I just want everybody to know because it's
Notice,
good. It's a good thing.
because people will choke your dream. People will choke the life out of you. People will choke the life out of you. They will continue to speak the ill wills they've spoken on themselves
Mm-hmm.
for years.
It's that projection.
Projection.
Yeah.
It ain't even no
Because
other way to
because
say it.
they don't have faith. That's the key word, faith. They don't have faith in themselves or the
Not even the
things that
faith.
they need to do for them.
Yep. They don't have the faith or the work ethic.
Yeah.
What happens is that when people meet defeat, and we've just said this, we've been saying it, you said this tonight, disappointment, that road of disappointment, what happens is that they'll get there. And I've seen many people say, but hey man, what's going on? What happened to that?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I kind of got, I got discouraged. Ain't nothing but another word for disappointment. There's a lot of cousins for that type of negative word.
Defeat, yeah.
Defeat,
Deflated.
disappointed, deflated. I felt hopeless. You know what I'm saying? I felt down, downcast, outcast, however you want to say it. What happens is that when you have people like that and they speak over that, words have power. And when they start speaking over you like that, unknowingly, you have soaked it in like a sponge.
So seed.
Tell everybody that.
They planted that seed.
They just did it. And it's just crazy. Look at this. I know y'all commenting a lot. I'm trying to put it in there. And what happens is that they continue to plant the seed, they water it, and what you don't know is that it attached onto you. You know, when you jump in the water, right, in a certain part of the jungles and stuff like that, you can mess around and get a leech on you. And what we got to learn how to do is stop letting leeches get on us, because all they do is suck the life out of you, because life has been sucked out of them. That's why I said you can't tell everybody your dreams. You can't share your purpose with everybody. That's even scripture. He didn't have to tell what his purpose. Even Jesus didn't tell what his purpose was when he first was here, when he was younger. He didn't tell you. All he said is that, Mom, I got to be about my Father's business.
Yep.
They didn't understand it, but he knew what he had to do. He couldn't reveal his purpose out there, because the moment they found out to reveal his purpose, other people started talking about it, and other people, oh man, that's crazy. Oh, he trying to say that he God himself. We got to kill him.
Yeah.
So just like in this, you got to be careful what your purpose is, because some people will dream kill it. And I know some people, man, this is a dream killer, man. That person's a dream killer. Yep, there's this. But this bigger than a dream. Purpose is far bigger than a dream.
Absolutely.
The dream is just the outer shell of what some people are talking about. We deeper than that. Purpose is way deep. Purpose is what's on the east side. Also on the east side. It is on the east side too.
It's on the inside.
East side, but it's on the inside. It's on the inside. And what happens so much and so often is that you get a hold of people that can't understand your vision because they're blind. Stop talking to blind people. Because blind people are scared of it. They don't.
That's the part about it, because it goes back to, like, when you feel like you're safe in certain communities or environments because people are nice to you, that's the part where we got to mature and grow up. Because just because somebody nice, people can say whatever they want to say, whatever they think you want to hear, but we can't keep being so naive to put our full trust in them. That's where them trust issues come from. You can't just throw it out there because they saying the same thing you saying. That don't mean that's what they really about and what they really trying to do. And a lot of times they'll do that just to get your input, and then they'll try to use it or try to do something with it. The point is, people will project on you based off of where they are in their life and in their mindset. And you have to guard your purpose, because it is sensitive. It's like an infant. It's in its infancy, where it's being cultivated, it's being developed, and it's growing. And if you tell somebody prematurely before it grows up, it could kill it. It could die. Like Randy been saying, it could die. And then it's just like you have no motivation in life. You wonder, why I got no motivation? I don't feel like doing nothing. Don't nothing appeal to me. Don't nothing matter to me. I don't care about nothing. Because you had a dream. You had a purpose. You found out what it was. You was introduced to it. And then somebody snatched it and took it away because of their negativity, because of their self-talk that they talk to themselves. Like Randy said, they gave it out to you. And it all starts with a thought. It all starts with one thing that you get, and that seed is planted, and now you start harping on it. You start dwelling on it. You start thinking about it over and over. It's just for, I'm going to use us women as an example. Oh, girl, you gained a little weight. I don't care who say it. When they say it, you start to look in the mirror like, is there some weight on here? Where is that at? You start to see yourself different just off of what somebody said, and you start to see it different because you start to entertain it. You start to think it could be some truth in that.
Right.
And with our purpose, it's no time limit on our purpose. There's no time restrictions. There's no limitations on your purpose. And there's no limitations on the way your purpose can be produced and given out. My purpose is to love people. I can love people in so many different ways. I can show it in so many different ways. But I got to protect it and guard it, because if I open up my heart too much when I'm giving out love or give it to the wrong person, they could hurt me, and then I could get bitter and then don't want to love nobody. Now that's not my purpose, because I allowed it to, because I opened up to the wrong people, because I was just trying to give it to any and everybody. You got to pray about your purpose. You got to ask God, what is it? Show me, guide me to it. Confirm it for me. That's the other thing too. Once you find your purpose, it's going to be confirmed. You're going to know. If you can't just know on your own and feel like this is it, people going to start saying stuff to you. Oh, when you do that, you do a great job when you do that. I love when you do that. You're the best person I ever seen do that. It got to use other people to help you kind of along the way. So don't dismiss people when they telling you something because you think they just so nice. No, that's God speaking to you, telling you this it right here. You think it's so simple. It can't be that. It's always right in front of you. It's always right in front of you. But you gotta open up. You gotta pay attention. You gotta stop dismissing it because you think it's so simple. That one little thing that you think is so simple, which is your purpose, is very impactful. It changes lives. You just giving somebody a hug every day. You think, oh, I just like giving hugs. No, that's changing people's life. That stops somebody from going to commit suicide. Because they felt love. They felt seen. You see what I'm saying? I'm done. That's all. I'm just saying. It's just like, it's the little things. It's the
Like
little
you said,
things.
it's right up. It ain't no what's there. It's right. That's exactly it. Everything you were
It's the
saying.
little things.
It's
You
right
just,
on. It's it's just people. We just gotta understand that this is it's really deep.
yeah.
It's really really deep.
It's deep, but it's
Internally.
simple.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
like, because don't think like like you said, it's just you have to understand that a purpose is a big thing, and you have to treat it as such. It's fragile. In the beginning stages, it's fragile. People are saying like, ignore. No, we're not telling you ignore. We're trying to say that treat it the way it's supposed to be treated. You got to be careful. This is why you got so many people that's suicidal and ready to jump off the bridge and do all these things, because all they do is put their business on social media all the time, man, because y'all want everybody to co-sign. Stop looking for people to co-sign your dreams who have horrible credit. They're bankrupt morally. You're looking for bankrupt people to co-sign your dreams. And they're bankrupt. They're bankrupt. They're broken. Okay. They've had loan after loan of confidence, and they have failed to pay it back. And you're looking for them to co-sign your dreams and your ambitions and your purpose. It won't happen. Let me tell you something. Good people will breathe life into you. Life is oxygen. They'll breathe life into you.
Healthy people.
Yep. And you got to be careful, because you got people out here that breathe carbon monoxide into you. Looks the exact same as oxygen. It's odorless, invisible, can't see it, but you breathe it in and it's poison. You got to be careful allowing them people in your atmosphere. You got to be careful, because some same people that be rooting you on, they'll say little things. You'll get clues to people that should not be in your atmosphere. All right? They always making a joke, but it comes at your expense. Let me tell you something. It's truth and jokes. it's absolute truth in jokes. Why they cracking the jokes like, man,
Mm-hmm.
you see this nigga want to do this. This nigga want to do this. You heard it. This nigga had a dream. He wanna open a store, y'all. He want to be a store. I can't wait to be
Yeah,
at that store. That dude hates the thought of you having a store
absolutely.
because at one time or some point or other in his life, he tried, he met opposition, he failed, and he stayed down.
Mm. Come on, speak on that. Can't
And
stay
then
down.
every thought that he see you take lumps, he see you take bruises, he see you take disappointments, and all you do is what we say tonight, refocus. All you
Yep.
did is refocus and you kept it pumping. Every time someone looks at you who stayed down, it's like them looking in the mirror, seeing the most horrible thing inside themselves.
Mm.
They could use it a whole different way. You would think
Mm-hmm.
someone would say, man, let me use this for motivation. I'm about to get back up and do this thing, man. I
Yep.
see my friend
Yep.
doing this. That's oxygen. I want y'all to peep that. That's oxygen.
And I want to say too, that's why your purpose is important because you don't know who is impacted. They may not ever tell you. You may not know, but it's doing something. It's helping somebody. That's why you got to do it.
Yep.
Just saying. Go ahead.
I
Go
agree
ahead.
with you. No, I agree with you on that because it's the struggle. You never know, like you said, you never know who's paying attention to you. You never know what that visit, like you said, that hug, that visit, the motivation, them long hours of working, that going door to door, that research and everything else, the time frames. You might be seeing the people that do see you fall down, but they see you dust yourself and get back up and keep it going and say, okay, that didn't work. I got to do something different.
Yeah.
So you got to understand that. And like I said, that's the oxygen. And then, like I said, you got carbon monoxide people. And they're the ones who, no matter what happens, because they can never get over the disappointment in themselves,
Mm-hmm.
they will project how they feel about themselves on you because they want company. Unknowingly and actually unwillingly, they want company down there on the ground with them.
Yeah.
And you just got to be careful of that.
Don't let them pull you down
Yep.
when you supposed to be pulling them up.
Yeah. And guess what? I'm gonna say something a little different. This might be outside of y'all scope and everything else like that. I'm gonna tell you, let them go. I don't breathe poison. You can have it. We could do it from a distance. You can love people from a distance.
I was just gonna say with family, because that's one of the
Yep.
a lot of people have that issue where they have family members, people who they love with all their heart, their mama, daddy, brother, cousin, whoever, people who they feel like should be on their team and supporting them, who the ones who projecting.
Yep.
You ain't got to just miss your family and just cut them off, but you can love them from a distance. You ain't got to tell them what you're doing and how you're doing it. You just make them moves, and then they'll see better than you can tell them.
Yep.
Because you're doing it. You're
yep.
leading by example.
I agree. Yep. I
And
agree
that
with
may
that.
change in them. Sometimes it ain't, but sometimes it may change them because they see you through every stage of the process.
They gotta want to change for themselves too. I
Yeah.
agree with that. I'm with the people. I think that for so long, people gotta you're supposed to, look, babies crawl, and they drink milk. Eventually, you got to eat steak. Some of y'all still been in the baby phase and you 40, 30, 60, 50 years old. Get out of it. You got to get out. You got to move on to this next phase and in this next stage, man. You got to get out of that aspect of it. Stop blaming everybody. We just said this. Stop blaming everybody for the fact where you at. Take some accountability. Get over it. Get up. Shake it off. Use it everyone else. Stop blaming everybody else. It's not everybody else's fault that they not quitting. It's a simple thing. You just can't quit. Quitting is easy when you learn how to do it. Anything is easy when you keep, when you get good practice at it.
Yeah.
You better find another way you better find something else to practice.
You better start practicing healthy habits.
Doing something
Practice refocusing. Like we said, that's our word for the night, refocus. Practice that refocusing. Refocus different. Just keep it moving.
Keep it moving, keep it going, and keep it pumping. It's don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to take the loss.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Because
Y'all
you're
know
gonna get a
something?
gain from it.
It's
You gonna learn
crazy.
from it. Yeah.
It's crazy. I love it. I got this one thing. This is one thing. Anybody who been watching Winning Time on HBO Max. It's the story of the Los Angeles Lakers. But was a part in there that my man who's playing Bus, Dr. Bus in this, he said something that's deep. He was in the car with his daughter. Keep in mind, he bought this team. If y'all ain't seen it, it's good so far. It's got 3 episodes. Come on, every Sunday, HBO Max. And what happens is that Dr. Bus is in the car with his daughter. When he bought the Lakers, it was during the time when the NBA was about to go bankrupt. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he said to his daughter. Daughter was in the car because he was talking about everything he wanted to do. He was on the verge of losing. They had no money, wasn't getting no money coming in. She said, Dad, do we really got enough money to help keep us solvent in this? And he said, baby, you see that plane up there? Because he was an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah. He's like, do you know that the plane actually has to go into an actual free fall
Wow.
in order for it to land? And then at that time frame while it's free falling, the wheels come out at the right precise time and then it lands. Right? And he said, you know that? He's like, what if we told people that was happening with the plane when they own it?
They
Nobody
would
wanna
lose
fly.
they bad.
Nobody would want to fly.
Absolutely not.
But
They'll be like, I
everybody
ain't getting
want to
right there. I'm a
travel.
dad.
All of y'all want to go on vacations. All of y'all want to go somewhere. All y'all want to go to a beach and fly and everything else. But guess what? I want to tell y'all, I've been on a plane before, and I know you have too, VV. Planes go into free fall when they're about to land. So our message for y'all tonight, man. Real talk. Don't be as scared of the fail.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of fail.
It's not about the fall. It's about how you get up from
There
it.
you go. It's about how you get to it. There you
That
go. You're
again,
falling.
refocus is the word. It's the refocus. Stop focusing on the fall, but focus on how you're gonna get up.
There you go.
Focus on how you're gonna do better.
Why
Focus on how you're gonna work even more harder.
Trust and believe that those wheels are going to come out for you as you're falling. Like, oh, woo. All right. There we go. And now I love that. When I heard that, I was like, man, I'm going to share that. This is probably a good time to share.
Listen, yes, because as soon as you said that, it made me think about this. Majority, I'm assuming everybody, but maybe some have not learned how to ride a bike. How many times did you fall off the bike before you was able to ride it well?
Yep.
It took practice every day. You scraped them knees, legs, arms, dirtied up some clothes.
I beg to differ.
Change your shoes because you thought you could wear some sandals and some flip flops and be bare feet and scrape them feet up. And you said, oh, now I gotta put some gym shoes and some socks and tie them up. I gotta put on some pants. That's all from the fall. You learned that from the fall. So let that be your lesson. You learn the lesson. You take from it. The fall is necessary so that you can be more amazing. You can fine tune and refine so that you can guarantee the success. You can guarantee the win. You have to have the fall to shore up the win. I'm just saying. That's what you
understand. It's absolutely. Man, y'all better stop saying fall and say cinder blocks. That's what I would tell you, man. Stop saying falls and say cinder blocks. Why I say cinder blocks? Because that means you're building. If you fall, you're just building. You're building the next wall. You're building the next room until you completely build what is going to be later your house. You're going to be building it. Just understand that. That's what the fall is, man. It's just a new block. Okay, bam. Because guess what? If you took one cinder block and you put it up, it don't make a house.
Yeah.
Take many of them. It take many cinder blocks to build this house. It takes many bricks. It takes all this stuff like, okay, now I got to go this way. Okay, now I got to do this. That's all it is. You're learning from the fall. You're learning from the fall. That's all it is. It's learning. It ain't the failure, man.
Yeah.
Failure is the awesome thing because if you don't fail, you
will never learn.
You ain't learning nothing. You always think you're doing something right.
Mm.
You always think you're doing it right. You always think that, yeah, this is the best way to do it. You ever talk to somebody? I remember in my my goodness, in my line of work, I remember this guy told me, Randy, and I was up there, we were splicing wires. He said, Randy, I ain't splicing wires like that. I splice wires like this. And I'm looking at him like, oh, you do? And I'm sitting there, I entertained him. And he was like, yeah. And I've been doing this for 40 years. Let me tell you something. You could be doing something for 40, 50, and 60 years. Don't mean you're doing it right.
Lord.
All right. Don't mean that you've been doing it right. It means you've been doing it wrong for that long. But you never, ever, when you get to the point where you think you got to stop learning, man, get away from you. It's just like everything. Like I said this not too long ago at my uncle's funeral. I don't like people that project to be perfect. You got to stay away from them. Yeah, it don't make no sense to be bound because they always think they do everything right. And we all know that's a lie. You got to get out here. You got to take your stumbles and you got to do everything that's necessary. Keep in mind, it's your purpose. What would you do for it? So it's a lot of people, like you said, there's a lot of things out here, no matter what it is. So I just want to, if we could say anything tonight to everybody out there that's watching this in regards to this, because this topic was awesome. It was right on time for me.
Same for me.
When it's your purpose, my goodness, man.
It's worth it.
It's worth every moment, every fall, everything that you got to go through to get it. It's worth it. So don't give up on yourself. If you fall, refocus, because all it is a learning lesson. You got the biggest blessing. You learn what not to do no more. Like that don't work. So I ain't doing it.
I ain't gotta waste no time doing that.
Never have to do it again. You have to keep doing it again.
Yep.
You're doing it right now. So don't let people distract you. If you flow in whatever you're doing and it brings you so much joy and you see that the effect of people around you that you influence. Remember I said purpose is not about being seen. It's about how effective it is. If you're effective at it. So no matter what you're doing, if you're a nurse, you know it's your purpose because you're effective at it.
It's making impact. Yep.
If you're a dancer like Fifi, you're going to be effective at it because when people get on the stage, it influences them. It changes them. It molds them differently. It's the effect it has. I see people go on stage and people just say, hey, look at that. Then I seen another person get on stage and it changed everybody out. When you could feel the energy in the room get different.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you, no matter what you're doing, if you're an engineer, if you're a coach, if you see how it affects your kids or the people that you work, that you get the best. Let me tell you something. To get the very best, to get the people to focus on changing and looking inside themselves to making them feel better, maybe change their mindset to different things. That is the ultimate goal of life. To get people out of any ignorance or anything that's false of them thinking, so that way they could be their very best selves.
Yep.
So no matter what you're doing in life, if you're effective and you could do those things, do it. Doctors, lawyers, not just everything, because everybody always want to say their thing because of money motivated. Money will never motivate your purpose. And I mean that all the time. It won't do it.
That's the biggest part.
Yep. It won't ever
That's
motivate.
the biggest part.
It comes with the
when you fulfilling your purpose and you're doing it, money is not the goal.
Money ain't the goal. First of all, your gift will make way for you. So that you'll never have to worry about that. So you will never be worried about it. But you just have to get up here and understand that with your purpose, you could do great things because your purpose, and this might be the last one I would tell y'all, your purpose ain't for you.
Come on, say that. Yeah.
You've been put here, not for you. If that's the point, then we all could be robots because we just be doing whatever we need to do. Your purpose is not for you. Every moment you're not exercising, moving, flowing, cultivating, getting all into your purpose. And I mean this sincerely to every single one of y'all. There are thousands to millions that's not developing and cultivating because you're not in your spot. Very important that we understand that. If the heart don't beat, blood don't flow to parts that need to get blood. If the brain shut off, it cut off all the function to the rest of the body. If the lungs don't get the oxygen needed for all of them, it shuts down. If the pancreas don't produce the necessary, man, this is why the body is the ultimate example of how life should work. We're all connected. So understand that if you're doubting your purpose, every moment that you're not there when you're supposed to be, man, you're affecting millions and thousands of other people. Somebody waiting on you to go ahead and do your purpose.
It's tied into you. Yeah.
I don't care how
Yeah.
small you think it is. I don't care what it is. Like I said, anyone that is dancing, if you teaching, if you're into the arts, if it means that
You cooking,
the plants cooking, if
working
you
on
coach, if
cars,
you're a singer, if you're a rapper, if you're an entertainer, if you're doing
connecting
everything else,
people to other
other
people. Like,
people, you
it
got
don't
people that
matter.
just do this job. There are assistants that do an outstanding job. They're breeded because they do an outstanding job with it. Some people are like, that's slavery. Like, shut up. People just, you got some people that are born to do what they do. They make things happen. When
Yeah.
other people can't do it, they make things happen. I don't care what it is. Get to your purpose. You know it, flow in it, and don't let nobody tell you nothing different about it. Be careful of those that you let around it. Share your secret. Let them see it before they hear it. See it before they hear it.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
And I want to encourage you, if you have not found what your purpose is, it ain't never too late. It's never too late. What we've
Absolutely.
been saying, you have to refocus. All your attention and your energy may have been put out for other and every other thing. So now it's time to refocus. Just refocus. Okay, you know what? I've been here for everybody else, doing what everybody else need me to do. Now it's time for me to focus on what I need to do for me. What is my purpose? How do I need to start? How do I need to start? What do I need to do for me? Be intentional every day, and it ain't gotta be deep, y'all. It's so simple. It ain't complicated. We just
I
make
love
stuff
that.
complicated because we feel like it gotta be all this extra. It ain't. It's simple.
I
It's
like
simple.
that.
It's
Be
simple.
intentional every day.
It's simple.
Shoot, I like that. I'm about to write that down. Be intentional every day.
Absolutely. Because that's the steps to it. That's all you do. Like what you already gave for the steps. Those 3 are the main ones,
Woo!
but you gotta take
That got me excited.
it with
Get
intentionality.
this.
It's like, okay, yeah, you got on the podcast and you heard us talk about all this stuff, and all this stuff is real great. And ooh, we was hitting on some gems and topics to take you out of church and preaching and all that. But what you gonna do with it though? That's the part that matters. It's like, okay, are you gonna use this? Are you gonna sit there and ask yourself some questions so that you can start making sure, am I in my purpose? What do I need to do to get there? Am I healing? You know, we talked about this. We're gonna keep talking about it. Yes, February we focus on healing, but healing is the whole year, every day, forever, until you are whole and well and great. So, okay, if you got some disappointments that's happened in your life, it could be back from childhood. It could be anybody, anything. Start looking at that so that you can start dealing with it. If you lower some expectations and you need to bring them on back up, do that. Don't lower expectations in relationships, bring them back up. Don't settle, don't compromise. Find what works for you and keep it there. And then somebody exists in the world that's going to meet them expectations and them standards. It may take a while, so have patience with yourself. That's the main thing I want to say. Have patience in waiting, or as you're working through your purpose. It ain't happening overnight. It ain't happening overnight. You got
Absolutely.
to cultivate it. You got to develop it. So it's going to come and it's going to happen. But have patience with yourself.
Ain't no Amazon for your goals. Ain't no Amazon delivery for goals. You gotta do it the old-fashioned way. You're gonna have to wait and
Time.
work at it.
Yep.
Time.
Yep.
And I tell you, time is the ultimate revealer. And just like a person told me one time, time will slow walk your behind down. Time is like Jason. It will slow Jason or Michael Myers, one of the two. It will slow walk your behind down. So trust me.
Yeah.
You would take care of it. So, man, I love these topics. We got a couple more. All they're gonna be saved for our last episode of the month.
Yes.
Because I forgot March, man. March, we got a lot of Wednesdays this month. A whole bunch of stuff. March has been ladies, y'all get the longest month too. Jeez.
We do it.
I don't know. It was crazy. But I thank y'all so much. Fifi, first of all, I thank Miss Hill so much for coming in on the show, even with the technical difficulties. Like she said, it was funny. She said that she normally has the technical difficulties, but
Yeah.
tonight it was. And keep our other co-hosts in prayer. Our boy Mac.
Mr. Reese, yes.
He said he feeling awful tonight. So I don't know what's going on. So we
Keep him
feeling
in your prayers.
every just healing energy your way, my brother. We sending it to your way right now. That you be good, and that everything to be better for you. And we just, man, I give a shot, man. Whoo, tonight. Thank y'all for all these comments, the interactions. I love it. Thank you, going up and down this bad boy. Thank you, Kyra, appreciate you. Thank you, Miss Kathy. I see you in there. Thank you so much. Oh man, Tim. Yes, a lot of fam come out tonight too. Jada, thank you so much. Because Ray using this bad boy. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of y'all comments and everybody that's gonna comment after. Because we get a lot of emails talking about, well, you don't be thanking me. I'm like, because you watched the show after it was live. Don't get offensive by that.
So no, we gonna have to shout out those people who are not able to watch it live, who still take the time to watch the replay. Come on.
We thank you so much. I will go over and listen to it again, and I'll shout your names out and say thank you as it comes across. But no, thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all. Really good night. Miss Hills, I don't know if you got anything to say before I go ahead and let these great people get up out of here. And
no.
Well.
Okay, I do. One thing.
There we go.
Thank you guys for being consistent. Thank you for being faithful. Thank you for hanging out with us and staying with us. We're going to have issues with this technology. Thank you for still showing up. Keep checking in. Keep making sure we show up. And even when we got things going on in our life, we still going to show up. We still going to come.
Absolutely.
Some days we may not be able to make it that day, but trust, we coming. We coming back.
Oh, yeah. Believe that.
Yeah.
Believe that.
So when you don't see one of us, when you don't see all of us, make sure y'all keep us in your prayers. Make sure y'all keep waiting for us to pop up. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing, and subscribing. Thank you.
Absolutely. Next week, last week of Ladies Month, going to have a great episode for you guys. So, again, Wednesday, 7:45. Share, get it out here. As I stated, we are also on, y'all know that, we are also on YouTube, not only Meta. I've already sent that email to pronounce it as Meta. Facebook be on me. Facebook be, Meta be
Our name
on
is
me. Meta be on me, man. They were like, can't use that night Meta. I don't know why they on me. It's somebody at Facebook. I must have. Oh my goodness. Somebody at Meta.
What they do, they be watching Unfiltered and they be like,
let them get out of here. They be watching. And
Thank you, Meta,
do is
for
make
watching.
me feel good. So, and like I said to everybody, like to all our viewership overseas, of course America, but all overseas, man. We are so.
We thank you,
man. We love it. So we just thank y'all so much. And like I said, until next Wednesday, see y'all. Love y'all. Everybody be good. Next Wednesday, 7:45. Unfiltered.